Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Saturday, April 22, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. New York has won 4 of their last 5 games, including a 9-3 victory over the Los Angeles Angels, 9-10 Sioux, second in AL West on Thursday. Yankees starter Nestor Cortes picked up a win by going 6 innings and allowing 3 earned runs on 4 hits and striking out 7 Los Angeles batters. Young second baseman Oswald Peraza drove in 2, and first baseman Anthony Rizzo went 3 for 3, scored twice, and drove in 1 in the win for the Yankees. Angels starter Patrick Sandoval lasted only 4 innings and allowed 5 earned runs while walking 6 New York batters. In 4 starts at Yankee Stadium, Mano has gone 2-0 with a 1.52 ERA and a .97 WHIP. He has allowed only 12 hits in 23.2 innings of work there and struck out 25 Yankee batters. He pitched very effectively last season in his previous outing in New York, going 6 innings and giving up only 1 earned run on 4 hits. He also pitched 6 shutout innings and picked up the win at Yankee Stadium earlier in the season. Cole has been amazing so far this season, but he has had his share of troubles against the Jays at home in the past. He is 2-2 with a 4.19 ERA at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees could only split their 10 games with the Jays at home in 2022, winning 5 and losing 5. They managed only 1 win in 4 tries during their last series with them and were shut out 4-0 in one of those games. Most signs and trends point to a Toronto victory on Saturday. Take Toronto on the road Saturday. The Yankees are currently ranked 20th in the league in runs scored per game and have had difficulty scoring at Yankee Stadium. They are scoring over a run less at home than on the road so far this season. They have gone under in 5 of their previous 6 games, and they or their opponent have scored 3 runs or less in 10 straight. New York pitchers currently rank 4th overall in ERA, 3.10, and 3rd in hits per 9 innings. As mentioned earlier, Mano has made very few mistakes at Yankee Stadium in his career, compiling a 1.52 ERA and a .97 WHIP in 4 starts there. Toronto has scored 2 runs or less in 3 of their previous 4 games. The stats support a low-scoring affair on Saturday. Our total pick is under 7.5 runs. Washington Nationals vs Minnesota Twins. There are so many reasons the Twins should run away with this game. The starting pitcher matchup is by far in Minnesota's favor, with Pablo Lopez looking like an ace, and Chad Kuhl one bad day away from AAA. Minnesota's offense hasn't been great, but they've been better than the Nationals, and they have the bigger bats that can carry a game. Then there's the home field advantage, as the Twins went 46-35 at home last season, despite a losing record, and won their first 2 series at home this year. The Twins send the fans home happy after this Saturday afternoon tilt. Our team pick is Minnesota Twins minus 1.5 runs. It seems safe to say the Twins are happy with their decision to trade for Pablo Lopez over the offseason. They recently inked him to a 4-year extension worth $73.5 million, more than Minnesota has ever paid a pitcher before. He's only allowed 5 runs in his first 4 starts with the club, spanning 26.0 innings, so he's definitely earned it. He'll bring his 5.50 strikeout to walk ratio into this game, his 5th start as a Minnesota Twin. There will be many more to come thanks to his new deal. Our total pick is over. Los Angeles Dodgers vs Chicago Cubs. Chicago enters Friday afternoon's games with a record of 11-7, which is good for 5th in the National League, while being 3rd in the NL Central. The Cubs have been led by Dansby Swanson, .338, Nico Horner, .338, Luis Torrens, .333, Nick Madrigal, .323, and Ian Happ, .304. Against Kershaw, Suzuki bats .600 in 5 abs, Horner is 3-6, Barnhart hits .400 in 5 abs, Hosmer hits .318 in 38 abs, while Swanson bats .273 in 11 abs, and Wisdom and Gomez are both hitting .222 in 9 abs. Clayton Kershaw has been pitching better than most expected this season, and I expect him to have another solid performance to get the Dodgers to win as a short -145 favorite. As well, Wisniewski is very up and down, and you don't really know what version you are going to get of him, but he was shelled at Wrigley Field, which is a hitter's park, and now faces a Dodgers lineup that is stacked on paper. This season before Friday's game these 2 teams are 2-2 against one another, showing how even they are. But give me Kershaw and this Dodgers bullpen to get the win as a slight favorite here. Our team pick is Dodgers money line. The under really comes down to whether or not Wisniewski is his good version or the bad version. Kershaw is very consistent and will likely only allow 2 to 3 runs, while Wisniewski can easily do that but can also give up 6 or 7. I am expecting Wisniewski to be solid and only give up 3 or 4, which will help the under hit. This season, the Dodgers are 10-9-1 in hitting the under, while the Cubs are 9-9, while at home, Chicago is 6-4 in hitting the under, and on the road, the Dodgers are 3-4-1. As well, in the first 4 games, the games are averaging just 6.5 runs per game. And, in LA's last 5 games, the games are averaging 8 runs, while Chicago's last 5 are averaging 8.4, and that includes games against Oakland that went for 14 and 11 runs, but the A's team has given up a ton of runs. Take the under. Miami Marlins vs Cleveland Guardians. It was an underwhelming trip to Motor City for Cleveland as they lost 2 out of 3 games to Detroit earlier in the week. However, the Guardians were able to salvage a win in the finale Wednesday, topping the Tigers 3-2. Cleveland came into the game as a -132 betting favorite, while the 5 combined runs were comfortably under the pregame threshold of 8.0 runs. Cleveland managed just 5 hits in the win, and none was bigger than Jose Ramirez's 3-run blast in the top of the 6th inning. As for the pitching, Cal Quantrill was excellent in his start, holding Detroit scoreless over 6.0 innings. Emmanuel Clay slammed the door and earned his 6th save of the year. The odds makers see this game as a relatively even matchup, having the Guardians as roughly a -125 betting favorite, while the Marlins come back at +123. The wild card here is that the Marlins have Luis Arias on their roster. This is a guy who can steal a game, especially with 2 offenses that are far from great. He currently leads the league in batting average, .438, and has added a much-needed bat in the 3rd spot in the Marlins order. With an X-factor like Arias on the roster, I think it's worth a shot with the fish in this spot. Take the Marlins with the money line. Shane Bieber gets the nod for the Guardians in the opener, and he has gone 6 or more innings in all of his starts this season and sports a 2.88 ERA. Furthermore, if he gets into any trouble, the Guardians have one of the better bullpens in baseball to lean on. They're currently 6th in both ERA, 3.22, and WHIP, 1.14. Miami's bullpen, on the other hand, has also been solid to begin the season as they are ranked 20th in ERA, 4.01, and 5th in WHIP, 1.09. The elevated ERA is due to allowing the 3rd most home runs, 12, as a bullpen. However, considering they're facing the 2nd lowest home run hitting team in Cleveland, 10, it's a favorable matchup. This should be a lower scoring affair between 2 bottom-tier offenses. Let's ride with the under. Take the under 8.5 runs. Colorado Rockies vs Philadelphia Phillies. Aaron Nola bounced back after allowing the 1st inning bomb to McMahon and ultimately tossed 7.0 innings and allowed just those 3 runs. Nola limited the Rockies to 4 hits and 3 walks while taking the no decision. Seranthony Dominguez got the win in relief, while Jose Alvarado earned his 3rd save to close out the game. Offensively, the Fightin' Phils racked up 9 hits in the winning effort, and Kyle Schwarber took the cake with a 2-4 day at the dish. The DH hit a game-tying home run in the 7th, while Edmundo Sosa notched an RBI single in the 8th to push across the game-winning run. The odds makers see the Phillies as a pretty sizable favorite in this game, offering them as a -172 betting favorite. However, I think there's a case to be made with the Rockies in this spot, and I'll take a shot on the plus money payout with them. For starters, Christopher Sanchez will go for the Phils, and he's far from a viable option as a starter. This'll be just his 5th career start and 23rd overall appearance in the majors. It's been far from a successful run at the big league level for the Southpaw, as he has a career ERA of 5.47 and a WHIP of 1.48. I'll dive deeper into it below, but this is a fantastic opportunity for the Rockies offense to bounce back and get a win. Finally, they have a much more reliable starter with Kyle Freeland taking the ball Saturday. I think it's worth a sprinkle on the Rockies' money line in this one. So, with Sanchez's lack of experience as a starter, who knows how long this left-hander will last? He already has poor numbers to begin with, so look for Colorado's offense to excel here. Furthermore, it's not like Philadelphia has a respectable bullpen to lean on if he does get in trouble. The Phillies' arm barn is just 27th in both ERA, 5.82, and WHIP, 1.62. On the flip side, Freeland is running into one of the best defenses in baseball Saturday. This Phillies roster is 3rd in team batting average, .279, and 5th in ops, .774. However, with how well they're playing, I think Philadelphia will muster up a few runs and contribute to the over. Finally, Colorado's bullpen ranks 22nd in ERA, 4.41, and 25th in WHIP, 1.48. All things considered, look for a higher scoring affair in this one. Our total pick is over 9.5 points. Miami Marlins vs Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians put an end to a 3-game losing streak and staved off a series sweep by taking Game 3 against the Tigers. Jose Ramirez broke the 0-0 knot in the 6th inning when he blasted a 3-run shot that gave the Guardians all they needed to secure the win. Cal Quantrill got the start and he tossed for 6 innings, striking out 4 but allowing no runs. RHP's Zach Plesac will take the mound for the Guardians. He's due for his 4th start of the season and posts a 1-0 record. Over his first 3 games, Plesac has an ERA of 6.92 and a 1.62 whip. In his last home start, he notched 6 Ks to go with 2 earned runs over 7 innings. While we haven't seen Plesac take on the Marlins over the last couple of seasons, his 2022 campaign featured him throwing better on his home mound despite his 1-5 record. He doesn't post the best strikeout rate, but Plesac hasn't walked many either. He'll need to continue that precision here. Cleveland enters this contest with a net run differential of -3, which is good for 17th in the league. Despite sitting bottom 10 in runs per game, the Guardians have managed to sneak inside the top 10 in terms of plate appearances, which has been bolstered by their great plate competence as they sit top 4 in both strikeout and walk rate. This strong plate discipline has helped propel the Guardians to despite their bottom 10 batting average and sparse home run hitting. If the plate discipline continues here, Cleveland should be able to take advantage of what has been an erratic road career from Garrett. The change of scenery will do the Marlins bat some good here, and Miami has won 6 of their last 8 and simply hasn't been getting much love over that stretch. Garrett poses some issues on the mound, but the bats out of Cleveland haven't provided much in terms of refuge. Look for Braxton Garrett to settle in and for the Marlins to be strong at the plate. Our team pick is Miami money line. Neither of these pitchers has been throwing strikeouts at a high rate to start the season. We've seen Cleveland stay compassed at the plate and they have been able to make opposing pitchers pay the consequences when they aren't dialed in. The Marlins still sit in the top half of the league in terms of batting average, but they just haven't got the runs to support that. Look for a change of tune and to see multiple run innings here. Take the over. Detroit Tigers vs Baltimore Orioles. Kyle Gibson will take the mound for the 2nd game of this home series with Detroit. Last week, he gave up 4 runs over 5 1/3 innings in a no decision against the White Sox. Gibson finished with 1 strikeout and handed out 2 walks. He gave up 7 hits, including a 2-run bomb to Jake Berger in the 4th inning. It was Gibson's first start of the season that ended without a win. According to Yahoo.com, he threw 58 of 96 pitches for strikes and struggled with his command, although only handing out 2 walks. He comes into this good matchup with a weak Detroit defense carrying a 4.18 ERA, 1.27 whip, and 13.6 K. BB ratio over 23.2 innings of work. After a promising 2022 season that led to a postseason berth, the Orioles have continued where they left off at the plate. They are 4th in on-base percentage entering this series and top 10 in the majors in slugging percentage and home runs. Second-year first baseman Ryan Mountcastle is off to a good start, cranking 6 home runs and 20 RBI, but still batting .208 on the year. Kyle Gibson will take the mound for the 2nd game of this home series with Detroit. Last week, he gave up 4 runs over 5 1/3 innings in a no decision against the White Sox. Playing in the American League Central for a long time, Gibson has a lot of experience facing the Tigers, albeit most of the lineup has been turned over. He should be able to easily navigate through 5+ innings of work, with his command better after a lackluster effort last week against the White Sox. Detroit is 29th in ops and boasts one of the weaker lineups in baseball. Look for the Orioles to get on Joey Wentz early and build a big lead, allowing the pen and Gibson to do their job. Take Baltimore to win by 2 or more runs. The Orioles come into this series with a young but deadly lineup of hitters. Adley Rutschman is a budding superstar. Second-year first baseman Ryan Mountcastle is off to a good start, cranking 6 home runs and 20 RBI, while Jorge Mateo leads the team with a .362 average. Mateo's status is in doubt for this series after he injured his ankle, but the Orioles are a deadly offense capable of dropping 8+ runs any given night. I think they will hop all over lefty Joey Wentz in this game. If not for injuries to the Tigers' rotation, Wentz probably would be back in the bullpen. But they need him in this game after Matt Manning was sent to the injured list. Take the over in a big Orioles win. Boston Red Sox vs Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers are 14-6 overall this season. Their 4-game winning streak was snapped in the Game 1 loss to the Red Sox on Friday night. The Brewers have won 6 of their last 8 games entering Saturday. They have won 5 of their 6 series to start the season. Against the Red Sox on Friday night, the Brewers lost 5-3. Rowdy Tellez hit a solo home run to tie the game in the 4th inning to give Milwaukee a chance. But the hitting dried up late in the game as the runs scored in the 4th inning were the final runs by Milwaukee. Freddie Peralta was credited with a loss in the game. He pitched 5.2 innings and allowed 4 earned runs on 5 hits in the loss. Wade Miley has been stellar for the Brewers to start the year. In his 2 wins, Milwaukee has outscored their opponents 10-0. In his lone loss, the Brewers were defeated 3-0. He allowed just 3 runs in that loss, and if he can at minimum do that on Saturday, Milwaukee will defeat Boston easily. The Red Sox will be facing a quality team at the plate, and the last time that their starting pitcher, Whitlock, did that was against Tampa Bay. The Rays hit him hard as he allowed 5 earned runs in the defeat. The Brewers will be too much. Take Milwaukee to cover. I believe it may be difficult for the Red Sox to score on Saturday afternoon against a really good pitching staff. This game could be a 4-0 win for the Brewers, with only a few slim chances for either club in this game. The under is 5-1 in the Red Sox last 6 interleague games. The under is 4-0 in the Brewers' last 4 home games. Take the under 8.5 runs on Saturday. Houston Astros vs Atlanta Braves. The Braves are off to a hot start this season, opening at 14-5, as they look to win their second World Series in the last 3 years. Atlanta has been particularly hot recently, winning 8 of their last 9 games to catapult themselves into the division lead over the New York Mets. The Braves' offense has been solid this season, scoring about the same number of runs as Houston with 97. Over their last 6 games, however, they've been scoring a better 5.7 runs per game as their offense has gotten hot. As a team, Atlanta is hitting a fantastic .263 with a .788 ops, led by the usual suspects like Ronald Acuna Jr. and Matt Olson, who are both mashing opposing pitching to start the year. As good as their offense has been, the Braves' pitching has been even better this year, allowing just 65 runs, the 4th fewest in the league, allowing them to achieve a top 5 run differential at +32. Of late, the pitching has been even more spectacular, allowing just 1.8 runs per game over their last 6, including some stellar bullpen performances. I've got the Braves taking this one over Houston at home. The Braves have been on fire recently, beating everybody and rattling off 8 of their last 9 games. They've had a lot of success on the season and don't show many signs of slowing down, especially while their stars like Acuna and Olson are healthy and dominating. As good as Framber Valdez has been, he's struggled mightily against the Braves in the past, which Atlanta will hope to replicate when they face him again on Saturday. Kyle Wright should look to get back on track in this one and regain his 2022 form against an Astros offense that has been disappointing to start the year. Take the Braves with the money line. I'm taking under 9 runs in this game. Both teams have relied on their pitching to start the year, and while there has been some success, neither offense is top of the league at the moment. The Braves have been allowing just 1.8 runs per game over the last week, and with their bullpen pitching at this level, they should be able to limit the damage, even if Kyle Wright has another rough outing. While Valdez has struggled against the Braves in the past, and Atlanta should be able to score enough against him to get the win, it'd be foolish to assume Valdez will get rocked for a 3rd straight time versus the Braves. He's just too good of a pitcher. Take the under 9 runs. San Diego Padres vs Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks out-hit San Diego in Thursday night series opener 12-7, but stranded 14 runners and lost by a final of 7-5. First baseman Christian Walker finished 3-for-5 with a double and an RBI, while third baseman Josh Rojas was 2-for-4 and added 2 RBI. Designated hitter Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and second baseman Geraldo Perdomo also drove in runs on Thursday. Arizona fell to 5-3 at home this season with a loss, but still maintains a 1-game lead for first place in the NL West over the Los Angeles Dodgers heading into the second game of the series against the Padres on Friday. I'm sticking with the Diamondbacks to win again on Saturday. Merrill Kelly has been stellar in 13 career starts against the Padres with an 8-2 record and a 2.61 ERA. That includes a 1-0 record and a 2.65 ERA in 3 starts last season. Kelly has also been good over his career in the month of April, as he is 7-7 with a 3.68 ERA in 18 starts. Joe Musgrove's career numbers against the Diamondbacks are also good. He has 3-2 record and a 3.83 ERA in 10 games versus Arizona, but I'm not expecting a gem in his first MLB game this season, especially considering his lackluster results on his rehab stint. Musgrove allowed 6 hits and 4 earned runs over 5 innings in his most recent rehab start. The Diamondbacks seem to have a very cohesive group in 2023, and they're finding ways to produce up and down the order, while the top of San Diego's lineup has been quiet. I trust Arizona more right now, especially at home. I'm siding with the Diamondbacks money line. I'm siding with the under in this game, mainly because I'm still waiting for the Padres offense to get on track. They're ranked 25th in runs per game and 28th in batting average, and they aren't manufacturing many runs on the base paths, with their 9 stolen bases. They only averaged 0.5 runs per game over the last 4 games entering this series with Arizona. Until Tatis Jr. gets back into the swing of things and starts producing, I'll be backing their unders most of the time. Musgrove hasn't pitched in the big leagues yet this season, but he has a 2.43 ERA in his career in the month of April. Musgrove may not be fully stretched out in his first game, so San Diego's bullpen may need to eat some innings in this game, which shouldn't be an issue. Josh Hader, Steven Wilson, and Brent Honeywell have been among the Padres relievers that have been lights out this season. It should be a good day for both pitching staffs. Give me the under. Kansas City Royals vs Los Angeles Angels. The Los Angeles Angels have been doing decent at the plate throughout the season, as well as they are 20th in the sport with a .704 ops, while scoring 4.79 runs per game up to this point. They have been absolutely dreadful throughout the year trying to steal bases, as they have 6 stolen bases while being caught thrice as a team. Center fielder Mike Trout, .949 ops, .299 BA, has been doing extremely well, and having some of the top talents in the world means they should win games. There is a massive difference throughout the pitching for these teams, as Los Angeles is 8th in baseball with a .233 batting average against, while Kansas City is 26th in the sport with a .269 batting average against thus far. Kansas City does not have much offense as a whole, while Los Angeles has a bunch of good hitters led by Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon, and Shohei Ohtani. The Royals struggle on the road in this matchup as they are 3-9 overall in their last 12 road games against Los Angeles, so go with the Los Angeles Angels to cover the run line. Take Los Angeles Angels minus 1.5 runs. Expecting more than a run per inning pitched is just setting yourself up for failure. These teams have both been absolutely dreadful in terms of hitting with runners in scoring position, as Kansas City is hitting .208 as a team in those situations, while Los Angeles is hitting .238 right now. The under has hit in each of the last 4 games these teams have played against one another, so go with the under here as well.